think there's one central message that we oftentimes fail to come to grips with. That is that there is something going on in the universe that is beyond our comprehension. There is an explanation for where the universe came from, where we came from, what our purpose is here, and where we're going. What happens down the road in the future. There's an explanation for that. It's not a big mystery. It's not anything that's metaphysical or supernatural. It's just as natural as you sitting there and me sitting here. It's beyond the scope of our understanding. It's beyond the horizons that we, with our senses, are able to comprehend. But it's real. Think of it this way. If you were an ant in an ant bed out here in the middle of a field, and for 100 years, for 1,000 years, generations of ants before you had lived in that same ant bed, and your entire universe as that ant extends out, 50 feet, 75 feet, 100 feet out from your ant bed. That's the entire existence that 1,000 species of your predecessors have ever known. Now, for 1,000 years, all those ants have looked off in the distance and they've seen the mountain. But never has a single one of those ants ever been to that mountain. Never has a single ant in 1,000 years ever had any comprehension of what's on the other side of the mountain. That there are cities over there. There are fields, there are oceans. There are other planets. Never has a single ant in all of 1,000 years ever been to the other side of the mountain. So, does that mean then that there's nothing on the other side of the mountain? No. Whatever lies on the other side of the mountain is just as real as what lies on this side of the mountain. It's just as real as that tree or that bush that the ants have known for generations. What's on the other side of the mountain is just as real. It's not metaphysical. It's not supernatural. It's real. It's just that it's beyond the scope of their comprehension. The ants are too small. They're too far removed to ever go there. And that's the same thing with us. There's an explanation out there. I call it God. And it's not metaphysical, it's not supernatural. It's just too far out there or too removed from our abilities to sense it for us to comprehend. I consider that to be, I have a little phrase that I use to refer to that truth, that explanation of all that is. I call it the great, unknowable, transcendent truth. The great, unknowable, transcendent truth, or for short, GUTT. The great, transcendent, unknowable truth, GUTT. Does that sound an awful lot like other words you're familiar with? The Germanic languages knock off one of those T's and they call it GUT. You know what that means? That means good. Gut means good. GUT. They also have another word. Instead of GUTT, The Germanic languages have a word that's spelled G-O-T-T. It means God. If you translate the Germanic G-O-T-T, Gott, into the anglicized word, it becomes G-O-D. So that's what I think of as God. God is that great, unknowable, transcendent truth, the one that lies on the other side of the mountain. We can't ever find it. We can't ever get there. We're too small. We're too insignificant. We're too far removed from it. But we keep searching for it. Mankind for 1,000,000 years has been searching for the same truth. Some do it through the realms of religion. Others do it through the realms of science. But they're all seeking the same truth because there's only one. There is only one great, unknowable, transcendent truth, one explanation for all that is. How you go about finding it or trying to find it, well, there's different approaches to it, but there's only one and they're all seeking the same one. Now, I'll leave it there. Let's you and I go in search of it ourselves. See if we can come a little bit closer to the mountain, a little closer to understanding what God is.